Good morning. We're on the Euro USD today, looking at price heading down towards the low strength and analysis boundary bracket. Now, normally when price enters this bracket, Genesis Elite will show you a boundary option possibility, at which point you can take an outside boundary trade. But what happens when boundary trades are not available on the platform? What you can do is go for a no-touch alternative if future price moves are in the same direction as the price move at the moment, which is short, or long if we were in a long scenario. Notice future price moves are short. So when this happens, you can take an alternative as a no-touch trade if the target is close or at the highest probability short reversal zone above. So it is, in this case, it's at roughly 1-0, which is just at the high strength boundary. So we're into the trade now, and we'll come back to you shortly just before expiry. Okay, we're back with roughly 40 odd seconds remaining in this trade. As you can see, beautiful execution, very nice escalation to the short side, very, very safe trade, no chance of coming towards that boundary in the time we have left. This was an alternative to an outside boundary trade, which we took on the premise that if a boundary trade wasn't available on the platform, is there a trade that we could take instead with equally high probabilities? The answer to that is yes, if future price moves are in the same direction as the price at the moment, which was short at the time, and future price moves were also short. So resulting in a trade like this, very nice escalation, taking full advantage of the volatility at that time, and we're now going to expire soon. We should have expired now already for a $8,600 gross return, which will net us a $3,600 net profit. Now, once this completes calculating expiry and our funds are released, because the max exposure is 5,000, notice that we're in another boundary situation, but we do have boundary trades available. So the first example was to demonstrate what would happen if boundary trades weren't available. And now, since we have a boundary scenario again being presented to us by ITM Genesis Elite, we'll go ahead and take a boundary trade again, an outside boundary trade, given that price is between the low strength and analysis boundary bracket. ITM Smart Money is also in favor of high bearish momentum here, but that's not really an issue when you're taking boundary trades. We're not looking for directional accuracy. We're looking for volatility and an exit of the boundary. So our funds have now been released. We have a $3,600 net profit and a reversal signal there as well on that bar just at the analysis boundary. We have an 18% probability of price staying inside this boundary. Hence, the logical choice is to go for an outside boundary binary option. Euro USD, this one's going to expire at 9:30 in roughly 13.5 to 14 minutes. We're going to go full in max exposure. Feel free to choose your own investment amount. Once we're in the trade, we're going to come back to you shortly just before expiry here and show you what happened. Okay, we're back again with roughly 33 seconds remaining in this trade. As you can see, price broke through the boundary almost immediately and escalated further short very, very aggressively. ITM Smart Money also leading the way, showing us that smart volume was indeed very, very bearish. This, as you can see, has resulted in a very aggressive escalation. Price has swung away from that boundary, exited it very, very quickly. And in the time we have left now to expiry, there is little to no chance of price coming back to the target itself, the boundary itself. So we're now expiring here, and we have expired in the money for a $3,250 net profit once calculation of expiry is complete. Also notice that yet again, price is in a position where ITM Genesis Elite is most likely going to present us with another boundary opportunity. If you use ITM Genesis Elite as much as most traders do who use it daily, you'll know that reaching that bracket of low strength and analysis boundary almost always results in Genesis Elite showing an outside boundary opportunity, as it just has now. You can see a 13% probability of price staying inside that current boundary. Hence, we're looking at taking yet another outside boundary option here as soon as our funds are released. Funds are now released. We have a $3,250 net profit that's been booked. So what we're going to do now is just go back to the chart, quickly check that price is still there. We have a very low probability of price staying in this boundary. Directional accuracy is not the issue here. And since the price has such a low probability of staying inside this boundary, we're going to, as always, shoot for an outside boundary option, which is the logical choice. This trade will expire at 9:45 in roughly 13 and a half minutes time. And we're just waiting for the platform to give us the trade. And we are in the trade now and will be expiring shortly. So we'll come back to you then. All right, we're back again with roughly 30 odd seconds remaining to expiry. As you can see, price has exited the boundary, not as aggressively as the last few trades here, but still exited the boundary very comfortably. So within the time that we have left to expiry, there is little to no chance of price returning to that boundary unless there's a magnanimous news release like the NFP that may temporarily drive price into it. But we know that's not happening at the moment. So we have a few seconds left here to expiry. Price is comfortably outside the money, outside the boundary, in the money. And we've now expired in the money for yet another $3,250 profit on this trade as well. So while this calculating expiry, we have netted $3,600 on the first trade, which was a no-touch alternative to traditional outside boundary trades. Then we took two more outside boundary trades, the previous one and this one, that have netted us $3,250 each, making it $6,500 just in these last two trades. So $3,600 on the first trade, $6,500 on these next two trades, leading to what I believe is a $10,100 profit in this entire session. We have now expired. The platform is updated. Thank you very much and have a lovely weekend.